The night of November 12, 1997, was supposed to be ordinary. At 6 p.m., families across Houston tuned in for the evening broadcast on KTXR. Sitting beneath the hot studio lights was Selena Delgado, the 29-year-old anchor whose face had become a nightly presence in countless homes. She was polished, confident, and professional, exactly the kind of journalist viewers trusted to deliver their news. For most of the broadcast, everything seemed normal. She read the headlines with her usual calm authority, her voice measured and steady. But then, at exactly 6:27 p.m., something changed. Viewers noticed her demeanor shift. Her eyes flicked away from the teleprompter, off to the side, as if something or someone had caught her attention. The brightness of her smile faded, replaced with a flicker of unease. Then came the words. They weren't scripted. They weren't part of the broadcast. They were whispered, almost as if she was speaking only to herself, yet carried by the microphone to every living room across Houston. If anything happens to me, remember, I tried to tell you. The studio cut abruptly to commercial. When the broadcast returned, Selena was gone. She never returned to the anchor's desk. She never walked out of the station. She never made it home. In the span of less than a minute live on air, in front of thousands of witnesses, a journalist had vanished into thin air. And those haunting words would echo for decades, raising questions that have never been answered. Chaos consumed the KTXR building. Co-workers searched every hallway, office, and parking lot. Security footage captured her leaving the set, walking down the hall, then nothing. The next tape in the sequence was missing. Detectives quickly zeroed in on Victor Ramirez, a private security contractor who had stalked Selena for months. He left notes on her car, called obsessively, parked outside her home. His house was filled with surveillance photos of her, schedules, threatening letters. Yet, no fingerprints tied him to the studio. No eyewitness placed him inside, and without a body, prosecutors had nothing. The case collapsed. False sightings flooded in. Rumors swirled that Selena had staged her own disappearance or had been silenced for a story she was working on. For her family, every rumor was torture. Her parents, Miguel and Teresa, kept her memory alive through vigils. Her brother Luis carried guilt into adulthood, later channeling it into advocacy for missing persons. By 1999, the case was cold. Ramirez walked free. Selena became a ghost story, her final whispered warning replayed endlessly on grainy tape. For 20 years, silence. Then, in October 2017, everything changed. Teresa received a letter postmarked Tucson, Arizona. The handwriting looked traced. The message, "You were watching the wrong broadcast." The real story was never told. Police suspected a hoax, but it referenced Selena's final words too precise to ignore. Weeks later, Tucson cashier Kara Whitfield reported a sighting. A woman in her late 40s, thin, scarred, soft-spoken. Kara swore she recognized her voice. Surveillance footage captured only her back, but Miguel Delgado sobbed when he saw it. "That's her walk. I'd know it anywhere." The case reopened. Forensic retesting of Selena's broken earpiece revealed a second DNA profile male, unidentified, not Victor Ramirez. Detectives uncovered Ramirez's ties to a private security firm with contracts protecting wealthy clients and politicians. Its staff list included criminals. One name stood out, Daniel Vega, briefly a KTXR guard in 1997, fired for harassment, then vanished. In 2019, an uncut broadcast tape surfaced from a retired technician's archive. Seconds before Selena's chilling words, a shadowy figure stood at the studio's edge. The frame blurred, but enough to confirm someone else had been there. A tip in 2021 led police to an abandoned Tucson trailer. Beneath the floorboards, a steel box held VHS tapes, candid photos of Selena, and Vega's driver's license. Most chilling was a photo dated December 1998, a woman tied to a chair in a dim basement. Her face obscured, but her resemblance to Selena undeniable. The photo stock, wall sockets, even a pack of Marlboro Red's Vegas brand verified the setting. Teresa wept. To think she was alive, suffering, and we couldn't save her, it breaks me. Then came the tape. In 2022, investigators digitally restored a 47-second VHS labeled blank. A woman sat bound, head bowed, whispering faintly, "Please, if anyone sees this, I'm still here." The voice was unmistakably Selena's. Her family was shattered, proof she had survived, proof she had lived beyond November 1997, but also proof she had been held captive. Detectives now believed Ramirez and Vega were part of something larger. Court records showed missing warrants. Evidence logs had gaps. Ramirez's firm held political contracts. Journalist Mariana Torres was blunt. Selena wasn't just a victim of obsession. She was a threat. She was silenced because of what she knew. In 2023, another breakthrough. A 1999 crime scene in New Mexico. A shed near trafficking routes yielded duct tape with Selena's DNA. She had been alive at least 2 years after her disappearance. Retired Detective Harris said, "This wasn't a one-man job. This was organized. She was moved like property." Then, the most shocking revelation. In September 2024, the FBI uncovered a fingerprint match from Phoenix, Arizona. It had been lifted in 2003 during a burglary. It belonged to Selena Delgado. If authentic, she survived 6 years after the broadcast. Maybe she escaped. Maybe she was moved again. But the burglary was minor, ignored. No one thought to connect it to a vanished journalist from Houston. And then came the final twist. In December 2024, the Delgado Foundation received an encrypted email. No subject, no sender, just one attachment. A blurry cell phone photo of a woman in her 50s, sitting at a cafe table. Her head turned slightly away, gray streaks in her hair. On the back of her hand, a faint scar from a childhood bicycle accident Selena had carried all her life. The attached message read, "Only, she's not gone. She never was." The FBI has not confirmed the image. The cafe has never been located. For the family, it was both hope and heartbreak. Proof she may have lived. Proof someone out there knows the truth. And now, after nearly 3 decades, one terrifying possibility remains. Selena Delgado didn't just vanish on live television. She lived in the shadows, moved, silenced, hidden for years, perhaps decades. The most haunting question is no longer what happened to her that night in 1997, but what happened to her after.